Welcome back to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games and practice game design.
Look at that!
My name is Cujo.
Nailing the intro on the first try ever. Unlike everybody else that's been on. Oh my god. When we changed it, Nathan and Tony both were just like, welcome back to
Welcome to games where you can GDPG and design games.
We're back with Friday the 13th. You promised we were going to talk about customization.
Yes.
And then we're going to play another round, so don't worry.
So customization in this game is quite important because they wanted to make sure that you had enough variety to accommodate both survivors and Jason.
I mean, without it sort of justifies the level up mechanic because why would you have a level up system otherwise?
Yes. So, first off, as you can see, Vanessa Jones, her main focuses are speed and stamina, and she's kind of lacking in everything else except for luck.
Oh, interesting. So composure's actually a stat.
Yes, it is. That means that it reduces the rate that fear increases and makes it easier to break free from Jason's grab.
But she's also better at running away from Jason.
That she is.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
She's not stealthy. She freaks out faster. So Jason always knows where she is, but goddamn, she's good at. So like, she's a great example of a well thought out character. She has a very clear concept of what she's supposed to, what her role is. So she's probably the best character to run around and get stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
now,
that's awesome.
Also really cool about the customization are the perks. For instance, Homebody, less chance of being detected by Jason's sensibility while indoors. So you get a plus 16% bonus to avoid him sensing you, but your stamina goes down. So there's always a really good increase, but there is a drawback.
Oh, so you're rolling your perks. So,
well, you always start with, like, the game gives you perks at the beginning, because at the end of the day, they want you to understand that you still have customization ability.
So what happens when you roll?
If I roll perk, I'm using 500 coward points. Are you going to spend it to get a new perk? And then it will come up with a new perk for you.
Oh, it just adds
another. Just gives you another perk. Cops arrive quicker if you are the one who calls them.
That's really powerful.
So it's really cool. And what's awesome is, say I'll do that and I'll do.
Oh, but you still assign which perks you want.
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay, so
you
it's
don't
not
just get them. You just have to pick.
If all 6 of those were active, that'd be kind of broken because eventually the players just get ridiculously good.
That is true. Now, what's also kind of cool is you can have those perks set to that person. Yeah, they're going to have the clothes. You could.
Is that just aesthetic?
Yep. There's no other function.
Honestly, I kind of like that, especially because that first one says it requires DLC. So that's, I think, in my mind, the better kind of microtransaction or DLC is that it doesn't change the gameplay. It doesn't give you an edge. It just gives you more customization of how you want your characters to look.
Yep.
And honestly, while this isn't a competitive game, it is a game with competition in it. So you can't. Pay to win sucks.
Yep. It's actually the reason I'm not playing Injustice 2.
Oh, is it pay to win?
Well, the thing with that game was you unlock gear for the characters, which increase stats. So
I mean, this effectively does that same thing.
To a point, though. Like, the stuff that's in this game, it's not. You're never going to come across a perk that is game-breakingly unbalanced.
Yeah, I mean, most of the perks, for example, were like 15% bonus, which is nice, but definitely doesn't shift things dramatically.
Right.
Unless if maybe, like, every one of the counselors have that same, like, if everyone has "my dad's a cop," suddenly the cops show up more than 100% faster.
That's the thing, though. You have to get to the place to call the cops. So
yes,
while it does increase the time that they get there, you still have to survive long enough to go there and activate that. So while, yes, that perk is really handy for that one instance, if something happens where, like, the radio station breaks down or Jason ruins it, there goes that perk. This is
the only thing I'll say on that end, though, is it does risk a pretty severe game imbalance, because imagine if all 7 counselors did collaborate and say, like, we're going to do this. That could make the game unplayable for Jason, for example.
That's true.
It's very, very unlikely, but in the rule of game design, it goes, if it can happen, it will happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So all of the counselors...
Enots.
All the...
Oh, they give you a little bit of communication if you don't have a headset.
That's nice. I think that's really important, especially because nowadays, and even for the last decade, talking over a game with a headset is
it's kind of a gamble.
It's a gamble. Most people, I think people are getting better at being cool, but you still...
It depends on the game.
Exactly. So I think giving the player a method of communication outside of using a headset is nice.
Right. So that was... all that was for counselors.
The other important thing is that they all share... Oh, Jason shares your CP too.
That is true.
I mean, that all makes sense. Because what if you just randomly never get the chance to play Jason?
Right.
It's an 1 out of 8 chance.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the thing, too. You kind of have to... Oh, well, anyway. So Jason. Customizing Jason is a little bit different. You don't get to customize his strengths or his weaknesses or his weapon. You can, however...
Those are all
customize the kills that you can perform after you grab counselors. Which is...
That's mostly aesthetic, though, yeah?
It's aesthetic. It's totally aesthetic, but it's rewarding. Because as you saw when we were playing before we started this, if you can manage to get one and get the opportunity to do one of those kills, it's just, it's that little extra edge that's like, oh, I feel like I'm doing something good.
You know, it's kind of fun. I mean, it's like what's it called? The, like, best moment in Overwatch, the little, like...
Oh, play the game.
Play the game, the little animated sequence of them doing some kind of fun thing, like, yeah, I'm so cool.
Feel cool.
This is the same concept. It's a visual reward for playing the game,
right?
And then spending your experience, and then obviously you get different Jasons too, and so this is where you get those varying balances. But I think it's important that Jason is grounded. Like he's never going to get better or worse,
right?
In his stats,
right? So, yeah, specifically for this, for each Jason, they're going to have completely different strengths and weaknesses. The biggest thing with this one is using your shift, your sense, and your throwing knives, and having the range as opposed to chasing after somebody. It's more of like a hands-on, quote-unquote, Jason. Whereas this one, all about sense, water speed, and grip strength. Whereas you can't use traps, your shift kind of stinks, and you can't run. So that can't run mechanic. Like, it's already difficult when you have the run mechanic. Like,
I love
not having it.
I love it. I mean, the thing about Jason, too, is that he's scary because he catches up to you without running, and you're just like, how?
Yeah, how are you here?
But the thing I think is super important about, and we can, what's spawn preference?
Spawn preference. It's like, would you rather play Jason? Would you rather play a counselor? Or do you not really care?
Let's put on Jason just to
see if we can.
Yeah, if we can get it on the show, that'd be super nice.
Oops, cancel.
So I think having the varying Jasons is really important, though, because it means that whoever plays Jason is going to play differently.
Yep.
Based on whatever skill set Jason is provided for whichever Jason you have. So that's really, really nice because we as the players, or as the counselors, we don't know which Jason was spawned until we see him.
Yep.
And so not only does that mean that we have to have an adaptable strategy, but it means that you can't plan ahead.
Yep.
So like that it helps negate that cop strategy, for example. Even if all the players got together and were like, we're going to get that my dad is a cop perk. Right. What if you have that Jason that's really good at preventing that win scenario?
Yep.
Suddenly it doesn't matter as much.
However, there are, as with any game, glitches. For instance, teleporting. You kind of go into a first-person view and you kind of like chase forward. I'm only describing it because we might not get Jason. Even though you're teleporting, even though you're not technically in the spot that you were. Oh, see?
Are we Jason?
No, we are by ourselves in this lobby.
Okay. Well, we'll pause and then come back when we get a full lobby.
Anyway, the teleporting, you can get caught on rocks, trees.
I have some things to say about that.
And a blade of grass.
Well, I'll just say it because I'll forget. But the reason why that's a thing is because it's easier to prevent that while you're in teleport mode than to accommodate it if, say, you end your teleport inside of a rock. You're more likely to break the game if you allow players to end their teleport inside the rock.
Gotcha.
There are things you could do, obviously. You could have the game kind of just like move the player to the nearest okay zone. But that's easier said than done, honestly. Right. And it sounds like from what you were telling me that there's already enough issues with players falling through the world. And having been someone who's made games in Unreal, I mean, it's a common issue.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you set up your collision right, it's not an issue, but...
Right. It's more just like, there's nothing that breaks the mood and the tension of the game more than, like, after you die, you, like spectate a player and see that they are in the lake, but beneath where the lake ends, and, like, Jason is running around trying to find them and is basically just given up. Like, so we're basically sitting for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, bugs are never.
Bugs
good.
are everywhere. They're never good, and they're going to be in any game. I mean, that's just how it works. But like, it's just.
It's. Those are what I would consider critical bugs, though, because they ruin the experience.
Yep.
It actually prevents the game from continuing forward.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they are still working on some things and going to patch things if they can, but obviously if they're not making money, they're not going to keep supporting the games.
Yeah.
It's a whole mix of stuff.
I gotcha.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm done. I'm sorry. 1.
Now that we're 12 minutes through the episode.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is super unnecessary.
I get it. Like, it's a callback to like those kills where they're not wearing clothes. And it's like,
yeah, like, if you have sex in Friday the 13th, you're gonna die first.
Yep.
I don't know. Especially as a loading screen, it feels.
We have to stare at this.
Well, yeah, that's the idea, right? They're being like, here's some eye candy while you're waiting for the game to load. But it's like, what if I'm not into that?
Exactly.
That might pull me out of the experience and make me be like, now I don't want to wait for the game to finish loading.
Now I'm into this, going into this game with a sour palate because someone decided to put a topless girl on the loading screen.
It's unnecessary. I think that the game itself is pretty, it has a good enough hook. Fucking guy. Marty McFly, I'm going to kill you first.
Did we get Jason? Yes! Yeah. We got Jason.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this.
Do you think that most players want to play Jason, or do you think they have more fun as the counselors?
It really depends. I'd say if you spend 3 rounds as a counselor and get your ass kicked a whole bunch, eventually you're going to want to do the ass kicking.
I mean, that's fair. It's a hard game. It's probably, honestly, easier to... I mean, like, to be successful as Jason. Maybe not win, because killing everybody is probably pretty tough. But I think it's also probably very hard to win as a survivor, too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, hey, I could use doorknobs.
Oh. I guess I
really
expected
Oh,
otherwise.
this is the radio tower.
Oh, are there different maps?
Yeah, this is Camp Crystal Lake. This was, I think, the first one.
I always assumed that it was the same place.
Mm-mm.
So that actually, okay, so that was going to be my second question, or my next question. I've already asked like 20 questions.
Yeah, seriously. Calm down.
The game seems like it benefits players that memorize the maps. Right? Like, obviously, if you know where everything is, you're going to be able to beat the game better.
Right.
Whether it's you're Jason and you know where to set up the traps in better spots.
I hit him! I hit him through the window!
That was awesome. That's why you don't stand at the window, buddy.
Oh, he has something important, too.
Oh?
Yeah, I think he has the battery or the gas can.
So yeah, obviously, if you know where everything is, then you're going to just win better. So it's... I think a tough thing to balance when you consider players that have been in the game for a long period of time.
Right.
So having maps randomly selected helps negate that. It sort of delays the inevitable, where you're going to get really familiar with some maps, but it's going to take time before you learn every single one of them. So I don't think that totally negates that problem. It just kind of delays it. You're real good at teleporting, Cujo.
Yeah, I'm so good.
If, for what it's worth, I think if the teleporting was too easy to use, then it would be game-breaking. It'd be too easy to win as Jason. Nice! You slipped through that door. How is he alive? Oh, there he goes. Well.
Oh, he fought me off.
Is it...
He can't run, though. He cannot run. I hit him enough that he's, like, limping.
So, when you grab them like that, is it like, are you just taking too long to execute the finale?
There's a meter that shows up when you're the survivor in that instance, and if you smash the button enough, you break free of Jason. And depending on the survivor that you have, if they don't do it fast enough, then I can do one of those kills, and then they're done.
Oh, so either way, you have to wait for the game to let you finish that.
Damn door.
I mean, you might as well just finish it, right?
That's true.
You're already 90% done. All right, more like 70% done.
Oh, he jumped out.
But now he won't... Oh, and he jumped back in. I mean... We're playing cat and mouse right now.
I'm making it so if he tries to jump through one of those windows...
Oh, he'll take damage?
Take damage.
Oh, that's so smart. Oh, but he could jump through.
Yep.
I guess he still probably took damage from that. Is this the same guy you axed like 3 times?
I think he might have had a health pack or something.
Wow. It was a good health pack. Whoa, you definitely went through that outhouse.
Damn it, I'm the same distance away from him that I was.
So, to wrap up my one question though, do you think that the game would benefit from a procedural level design where it randomizes the location of things?
Yes.
And
I think it already does that.
It does that.
No, the door.
So is it like some of the things like buildings are always in the same place, but the actual items like the batteries and the car might be in different locations?
Right.
So, okay, I think that's a good balance then, because since you don't know where everything is, you can't just win. So in that case, I think that's good.
Done.
Yep. Rise.
Oh, I got my eye on you.
I think the audio design's pretty good in this. I'm curious to hear what Eddie would think of this.
My lead on this guy was totally lost because of that damn tree.
Do better, mo better, Cujo. It's the slogan of the show. Nice hit.
I can't.
Yeah, it's a little weird where it chooses to be picky on interactables.
Right.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
because even like the symbols won't show up until you get it your placement just right.
It seems buggier with Jason than it does with the counselors, though. Or am I just haven't seen enough of counselor play to know? Oh, what? That was
no.
That was definitely pretty buggy.
Guys.
Did you turn on the lights?
No, I'm using the sense.
Oh, it just like made everything else brighter. What's that?
That's a car.
Oh shit, you're right. Wow, you can teleport pretty far. Oh. Nice! Oh my god! That was excellent! But they can still drive it, or is it just...
Oh, it's done.
Wow. Very well stopped. I guess it's pretty easy to stop the car, or a lot easier to stop it than I thought it would be.
This is crazy. They're all like right here, and I'm just hacking them to pieces slowly.
So it doesn't seem like you can totally stop the car. Like it's smoky, but it's not like they keep getting in it to try to drive it. This is awesome.
This is
This
crazy.
is excellent, Cujo. Yeah, I guess taking the car itself is sort of a risky move because Jason's gonna know it's happening.
Yep.
Or at least it's pretty
like
easy
4
to
bear
see.
traps.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I think that it was a very well-placed teleport spot because it really puts you right in their trajectory.
Yep.
Which I think is it's a crapshoot, right? Like, oh, that was nice. it's very unlikely that you're going to be exactly in the right spot when you use the map-based teleport.
Right.
But it's really cool to see that done successfully. They really should have just fled. I don't know why they were really just pushing to use the car.
Well, they have to, I think.
Well, they could go back and try to, like, call the cops. She really just doesn't know what to do. She's just running in circles. This guy's like,
He's like, maybe did I do a bad? I think I did a bad, guys.
That's the thing, like, I see a lot of these survivors. Oh, nice.
Nope. No, you don't.
Not today. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to stun lock you to get in the car for just long enough. Oh, and now the cops are here. Wow. Are they shooting Jason?
I resisted it. The cops are shooting, yes.
Huh. Alright, so 2 people got out. Could be worse. Oh, you had it. Oh, she has a rifle.
Yep.
Dang.
Oh, if she gets out. Oh, she's done. She got out.
I mean, you killed, what, at least 4 of them, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that might be game. Let's see.
Yep. I think one of the cops shot me. That's why I'm stun locked right now.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is happening? What happens if you don't resist?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oops, oops, oops.
Oh no.
We're gonna pause real quick.
Oh, I think I have to die here.
Or at least Cujo's gonna keep going.
We'll figure out how that's gonna work.
Hello? You're downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right down. It's the downside of playing games that you can't pause. Cujo, I'm gonna get her food. Keep the show going.
Cool.
Talk about what's going on.
All right. Well, I think there's still some survivors around because the round hasn't ended. And I guess the question is, how the hell do I find them? Because right now, all I can see is an empty... Oh god, this has just become a solo playthrough and I'm a little... We'll figure it out. Okay. So, yes. No idea why the round is still going if everybody's escaped, unless maybe I can look and see if I can find... Nope. No, I cannot see a thing. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna chill in this round for a little bit, unless there's somebody who's just hiding.
Did you do it? Hey, you're raging now.
I mean, I'm raging, which is cool, but... Match starting? What?
Did it, like...
I don't know what's happening.
Fail to take you out of the match?
I wonder... So it's just Jason smashing doors and windows.
I mean, like, that would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty sure that's the case right now.
The game's a little buggy.
Pretty sure that's what's happening.
Pretty sure the game's buggier as Jason.
Pretty
Do you
sure.
think getting shot right as that last one was escaping is what held you in the game?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's because I didn't like... Maybe it's because I kept resisting or whatever. That the game's like, what is happening?
I mean, you could have definitely like tricked the game state.
He at the archery. What the hell is the archery?
Is that one of the people you just played against? Is there an archery?
Archery. Where's archery? Over here.
Oh. Why are they helping you?
Probably because they want the round to end.
Oh.
Oh, yep. There's someone over there.
Ah. Wow, look at that.
Thanks, buddy. You know what? This kill? Just gonna be for you, buddy.
Just standing there. They,
probably
like,
AFK.
Yeah, wow. I mean, worked out pretty well for them. Worked out pretty well for them. Do you think that's what some...
Because you know when you get your head chopped off, your body bounces. How many did I kill? 4.
4 out of 7.
That's more than 50%.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I mean, that's pretty good, all things considered. Do you think that's, like, a strategy for some players to get just, like, farm experience? To just, like, load in,
Maybe.
go AFK, do something
Actually,
else?
yeah, technically, if you were playing in a party or with friends only, you could just have it set up where, like, okay, I got Jason this round, so everybody gather at this location.
weird.
Yeah, I know. I suppose that's one of the ways to quote unquote break the game, but
Well, you're still technically you're hurting
Demolition
the experience.
Derby. Yeah.
Nice. You're hurting the experience for other players by doing that, which I think that's why that sucks. I don't know what the good balance would be for that though, because you could see that the player has been idle for, more than 30 seconds and then boot them from the match.
Right.
But you don't just load a new player in at that point, because that would also hurt the match.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll make that the challenge of the day. How would you balance that?
Yeah.
If given the opportunity to design it? But I think
You fix it.
it's a very pertinent issue to the game.
Absolutely.
And like we talked about bugs a lot. Obviously, to fix a bug, you just fix it. That's what you do.
It's really like.
But for something like that, that's more of a design problem rather than a bug.
Oh yeah.
Because if it can happen, it will happen. There are players that will do it, and it makes sense why a player would do it because they just can farm EXP without doing anything. True. So it's interesting.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I do really like this game. It's got its flaws, but I think the concept and its execution are pretty damn good.
I have one request though.
What's up?
Can we do one more episode and let me play?
Of course.
I want to give this a spin just to see.
Tune in next time for GDPG as Chris takes up the mantle of counselor and or Jason.
Yes. Check out Friday the 13th if you haven't yet, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.